Last year in 2022, July, we woke up to a heavy downpour that resulted in flooding. People's houses were destroyed. We had pit latrines sinking. We had bridges getting destroyed. And access routes were all destroyed, cutting off some people.
The scenario is as such: a landslide, heavy raining, flooding have displaced people in two directions.
First of all, it's very important to anchor this exercise in Article 16 of the Protocol on Free Movement of Persons.
Today's discussions were really centered on what can we do? What happens when you get such visitors who have been actually involuntarily pushed to our side of the country?
Most affected usually though is children. It's also, this simulation exercise has helped me understand that children are usually the most vulnerable.
Been interesting. One, we've had interaction just to exchange ideas with the Ugandan counterparts on the experience and on the displacements of the recent floods.
The two countries have put together a team, a multi-sector team with representatives of migration authorities, those dealing with disaster risk management and disaster operation, those dealing with climate change and environment, human rights and migration. So the scenario is for them to solve different tasks throughout an exercise. How do you receive and protect those that may seek admission and stay across the border? How do you make sure they are safe in their temporary shelter? How do you prevent issues such as sexual and gender-based violence? And how do you start to find solution when the disaster has started to calm down?
The simulation exercise brings together a number of actors, and that's always very important, many perspectives. And when you have many perspectives, then you sort of change your approach to the response. The exercise is also fun, so that's an added bonus.
In terms of messages, I want to say that one of the things that we must be very, very concerned about is the issue of early warning systems. The number two, we need to think in terms of the long term. What can we do to have the river banks protected? There is a lot that we can do, but those are things, something that can address the concerns of the community immediately.
My appeal is that we should focus at the 4 critical strands of work going forward, because we have spent a lot of time in analysis of the problem. We should now focus on defining the programmatic aspects, building institutions, providing specialist assistance to the local governments who are on the slopes of Mount Elgon, for example, improving the way in which we respond, and then also supporting with the legal and policy frameworks at the central government level so that the local governments can be guided by the legal and policy frameworks of each of the member states in terms of disaster management. What we need is stable institutions, well established and grounded, and ready to intervene whenever disasters strike.